Hi, let me ask you a question. What do you do with your tomato peels, your potato peels, your zucchini skins, um, eggshells, coffee grounds? How about recycling them? How about reusing them? I know, how about composting them? Composting is very easy and it's very healthy. Let me show you something though. Welcome, now you can't see me, welcome to my backyard. As you can see, I live in the mountains. So we don't have very much level land, do we? What do? I opted for a deck garden. Let me show you real quick. There you go. I have a deck garden. So what I would like to do today is to show you how easy it is to compost. All you need to do is to figure out what you need, how to do it, and what bin to put it in. Very easy. I actually started learning how to garden when I was about 15 years old. I went back and my aunt, my grandma and we got into that garden and had a great time. But it wasn't until about 20 years ago did I really get really serious into gardening and composting. Well, I'll tell you the truth. It's where I met my husband, and that was in a community garden. And so we were able to have fresh vegetables, fresh fruits. So let me show you what we need to do. I want to let you know that the EPA, which is the Environmental Protection Agency, in 2017 stated that composting is great for some gardens, for some home gardens. There's no need to use chemicals. Make your own compost. Composting is basically a breakdown of your organic materials, everything from your brown to your green materials, and I can show you some green and brown materials. What happens is the brown materials turns into nitrogen, and the brown stuff the brown material turns into carbon, and the green stuff, your peels and your grass clippings and everything, turns into the nitrogen. And basically you need to have a higher carbon ratio to the nitrogen ratio, and that's easy to do. So let me show you some different things that I use. Put some gloves on here. I don't usually use gloves, but you know what? For all intents and purposes, we'll try to do this. Here's some green stuff, some leaves. I've got straw. Actually we have chickens too, so I use the chicken manure in there. We have a fireplace, so I use the firewood ashes from the fireplace that's in here. I've got leaves, dead leaves that I raked up. So that's basically what consists of your your brown materials. Now I want to show you your green materials. Green materials, like I said, you have your basic dead lettuce that you can't eat anymore. How about some asparagus? That's the ends that you don't eat anyway. Here, coffee grounds. Coffee grounds are really good. Aha, my famous little bowl that I use. I put my eggshells in, my banana peels, my zucchini, whatever else I need to do. So that is my green stuff, which turns into the nitrogen. So you have the brown material, which turns into the carbon, and you have the green stuff, which turns into nitrogen. The only other thing that you need is the sunshine and water. Let me show you how. Okay, like I said, to make your compost, you need your green material, your brown material, your water, your sun, but guess what? You need to put it in something so that it can cook. Okay, so what I did is I got a 5-gallon bucket, and I took a drill and I drilled some holes in here. It doesn't matter how many, but you know, the more the better. Down in the bottom too, you want to put holes in here so that when you are composting, that there's air that aerates around so that it breaks down more quickly. And the quicker it breaks down, the sooner you get to use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing my layering, and that's basically what you're going to be doing. So first of all, I want to get some of my brown stuff. Like I said, my leaves, my straw, the chicken manure. We'll get that down. And you want a layer of that. And then you want to get your water. So now we're going to make sure that gets a little bit wet. That's all you need. Now we're going to start layering in our green stuff. Our eggshells, our banana peels, our zucchini pieces, apple cores, more zucchini, more eggshells, more bananas. Holy moly, just put it all in there. Oh, now that we have another layer, guess what? Water time. So we're going to water this down too, just a little bit, just to kind of get it moist. And the next thing you do, you put more brown stuff on. So you're going to get your brown material, your fireplace ashes, your raked up dead leaves, corn cob husks. It's limitless what you can use. Just get that brown stuff in. Put some more water. I love composting and I love gardening. And now what do we have to do? The green material. So here's some more green material. Some coffee grounds, orange peels. By the way, not only do I garden, I cut my husband's hair and I groom the dog. According to, let me make sure I got this right. According to Gardening Know-How in 2017, it tells us that we can use the green material, that it does turn into the carbon, and that we can use the brown material into the carbon and the green material into the nitrogen. But it also tells us we can use hair. So my next layer is the dog hair that I groomed from my baby, my little Nina. The article also said that you can go to some of the beauticians and you can ask them if they can save hair for you, and some people do it, and that's what they use for composting. Pretty cool. So here we go. We're going to put some more water in, get that soaked down. Remember what goes next? The brown stuff. We're going to get some more of that ash. Some more of those dead leaves. And our water. And let's just fill it back up with the rest of the green stuff that I have. Still have some more of that dog hair. We'll put that in too. So now I've got my basic compost ingredients together. Let's water this down. This will take, it takes a good 4 to 6 months in the heat to decompose, to get those microorganisms to break down. So you've got to be a little bit patient, but you know what? It works out really well in the end. I want to show you after all the composting I've been doing for years, this is what it comes and turns into being. Lovely, broken down, nitrogen and carbon. So now that I've taught you, showed you, I taught you that composting is good and what you can use, what you can do with it for your garden to grow healthy fruits and vegetables. You don't have to use pesticides that you get the fertilizer from the garden shop. I've shown you how to layer, how to fix the compost, and what kind of compost bin to put it in. There's other compost bins that you can make. This is just one that I use on my back porch. You can make it out of wire. You can make it out of little wooden box. They have store-bought kind of compost bins that you can use. There's a myriad, but when you're just doing it at a low cost, this works perfectly. And you saw the remains of my brown gold. So now that we have discussed, go ahead.
Go.
My final message here is composting is good for you. It's good for the environment. It is a healthy and safe way to fertilize your plants, your fruits, your vegetables. I've shown you what type of material to put in, the brown materials, the dry leaves, the straw, the chicken manure, the fireplace ashes, whatever, that turns into the carbon, and the green material that you can use, which was the coffee grounds, the dog hair. You can use banana peels, eggshells. There's so many things. And then I also showed you an easy way to make a bin. We layered it together, and I hope that you got the good idea now of what to do. So now that you've heard all this, why don't you go out and get yourself a bucket? Why don't you do something healthy for yourself? Why don't you go out, get a bucket, drill those holes, and start your compost. Go out and have fun.